In the heart of West Africa, a young man seized power, not for himself, but for his people. He rejected foreign aid, slashed government luxuries, and empowered women like no African leader before him. His name was Thomas Sankara. In just 4 years, he transformed Burkina Faso into a symbol of hope. But on October 5, 1987, Sankara was gunned down in a brutal coup. Why was this revolutionary leader assassinated? Who stood to gain? And what legacy did he leave behind? This is the story of Africa's most radical leader and the forces that feared him. Thomas Sankara was born on December 21st, 1949, in Yako, in what was then called Upper Volta. He was the son of a military veteran, and he was drawn to discipline, ideas, and justice from a young age. He joined the military as a teenager and quickly rose through the ranks, gaining fame for his intelligence and charisma. But unlike most officers, he wasn't just a soldier, he was a thinker. In 1983, amid growing corruption and inequality, Sankara was placed under house arrest by the ruling elite. That was a mistake. His friend and fellow officer led a coup that freed him and installed Sankara as president as just 33 years old. Sankara renamed the country from Upper Volta, a colonial name, to Burkina Faso, meaning land of upright people. He refused to live lavishly. He rode a bicycle, while ministers flew economy class, luxury cars. He slashed the salaries of top officials, including his own, and redirected funds to build schools, hospitals, and rural projects. Within 1 year, 2.5 million children were vaccinated against polio, meningitis, and measles, one of Africa's most ambitious health campaigns. He launched literacy programs, tree planting campaigns to fight desertification, and bold projects for food self-sufficiency. Burkina Faso, once one of the poorest nations on earth, was beginning to stand on its own feet. Sankara didn't stop there. He declared war on corruption, patriarchy, and imperialism.
Voyez-vous, l'impérialisme a tort. Mais l'impérialisme est un mauvais élève. C'est un mauvais élève. Quand il est battu, quand il est renvoyé de la classe, il revient encore. C'est un mauvais élève. Il n'a jamais appris la leçon de son échec. Il n'a jamais tiré la leçon de son échec. Il est là-bas en Afrique du Sud, en train d'étaler, en train d'égorger les Africains. Simplement parce que ces Africains pensent à la liberté, comme vous aujourd'hui. L'impérialisme, il est là-bas, en train d'écraser les peuples arabes, c'est le sionisme. L'impérialisme est partout. Et à travers sa culture qu'il répand, à travers ses fausses informations, il nous amène à penser comme lui. Il nous amène à nous soumettre à lui, à le suivre dans toutes ses manœuvres. De grâce, il faut que nous barrions la route à cet impérialisme.
He outlawed forced marriages and promoted women into leadership roles. He even forced men in his government to go to the market to understand the burdens women carried. In speeches at the United Nations and Organization of African Unity, Sankara openly criticized the hypocrisy of foreign aid and shackles of colonialism and the exploitation of African nations by global powers. He called for debt cancellation, warning that paying debt to the West would mean starving African people. But Sankara's boldness made him enemies, both inside and outside his country. Burkina Faso's elite chiefs and all political class lost privileges and power. Some hated him for his humble image, but strict control. Others feared he was moving too far, too fast. Internationally, Sankara's refusal to accept IMF, or World Bank clones alarmed Western governments. His anti-imperialist stance put him at odds with France, Ivory Coast, and other powers that benefited from Africa's dependency. He accused African leaders of being puppets of foreign masters and said what others only whispered. In October 15, 1987, Thomas Sankara attended a meeting at the government building in the capital. Suddenly, a group of armed men stormed in and opened fire. Sankara and 12 of his comrades were killed in minutes. Blaise Compaoré took power the same day, claiming Sankara had betrayed the revolution, but few people believed him. The nation was shocked. Mourning spread the streets of Ouagadougou. People wept, painted murals, and whispered his name in fear. Many accused Compaoré of being backed by France and Ivory Coast President Felix Houphouët-Boigny, who feared Sankara's influence in the region. For 27 years, Compaoré ruled with an iron grip, silencing any investigation into the assassination. Sankara's name was erased from official records. His image was burnt, but the people never forgot. In 2014, a revolution toppled Compaoré, and in 2022, after decades of silence, Compaoré and his co-conspirators were sentenced by a Burkina court for the murder of Sankara. Sankara once said, "While revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered, you cannot kill ideas." He was right. He died at 37, but his ideas live on. Thomas Sankara challenged power, privilege, and empire, and he paid the price. Burkina Faso lost more than a president. It lost a future. The corruption Sankara had fought returned. Foreign dependency resumed. His ideals were erased from textbooks for a time, but the people never forgot. Sankara ruled for 4 years, but in that short time, he redefined what African leadership could be: honest, brave, and visionary. They killed the man, but they could not kill the dream. Today, Thomas Sankara is celebrated across Africa and beyond. Murals, documentaries, and songs keep his memory alive. He is widely celebrated today as a symbol of revolutionary leadership, Pan-Africanism, and anti-imperialism. His legacy continues to inspire people across Africa and around the world, particularly among youth, activists, and progressive movements. Leaders like Ibrahim Traoré today are following Sankara's footsteps. Traore's a young captain, speaks with dignity, self-reliance, and African unity. Traore once said, "We follow the footsteps of Sankara, not with nostalgia, but with duty." Leaders and activists invoke Sankara's name, not to idolize him, but to finish what he started. In a world still hungry for justice, self-reliance, and truth, his voice echoes louder than ever. This was not just the story of a man, it is a story of a revolution, one that dared to dream and refused to kneel. Sankara may be dead, but his spirit now lives in everyone who stands up against oppression. It lives up in every country that chooses self-reliance over debt. It lives in every voice calling for unity, sovereignty, and peace across the continent. May his legacy reign forever. While revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered, you cannot kill ideas. He was right. He died at 37, but his ideas live on. Thomas Sankara challenged power, privilege, and empire, and he paid the price.
Je crois au peuple. Le peuple, je crois comme une force, comme une puissance. Celui qui sait parler au peuple, celui qui sait avoir la confiance du peuple, peut tout réussir. Mais celui... Non, parler au cœur du peuple.
faire sentir ses idées au peuple. Le financement extérieur ne doit pas apparaître comme une solution miracle à tous nos problèmes économiques. Oui, il faut les financements extérieurs, mais il faut d'abord commencer par travailler soi-même. Et si on ne travaille pas, des solutions comme celle du FMI apparaissent comme des solutions de facilité. Et dès qu'on a une petite difficulté, on court au FMI. Dès qu'on a une petite difficulté, on court au FMI. Ceci est une mauvaise chose. Deuxième élément très important aussi, c'est que nous avons l'impression que chaque fois qu'on nous pose des conditions, au niveau du FMI par exemple, c'est pour créer d'autres conditions. On nous dit, nous sommes prêts à vous accorder tel financement à condition que vous fassiez telle chose. Nous acceptons ces conditions, nous remplissons ces conditions. On nous amène encore d'autres conditions. On nous amène encore d'autres conditions. Cela devient troublant. Alors, quels sont les pays où le FMI a réussi? Quels sont les exemples où le FMI est parti et cela marche très bien? Nous n'en voyons pas.
Vous avez dit non à l'aide alimentaire. Pourquoi? L'aide
alimentaire que nous avons reçue, malheureusement, au lieu de nous aider à nous développer, nous a maintenus dans une mentalité d'assister. Chaque jour, on tend la main pour demander à manger. Ça, c'est mauvais. Deuxièmement, l'aide alimentaire fait que les paysans de chez nous qui auraient pu produire ne peuvent plus produire parce que quand ils produisent, ils n'arrivent plus à vendre. C'est les surplus des paysans des autres pays qu'on nous amène ici. Nous, nous demandons autre chose. Celui qui veut nous aider vraiment peut nous donner des charrues ou des tracteurs, des engrais, des insecticides, des tuyaux, des arrosoirs, des barrages, des forages. Voilà, ça c'est de l'aide alimentaire.